Good morning, Huddlers. Good morning. Andrea, it's been awesome partnering with you for this series of conversations on being wealthy. And it wouldn't be appropriate if I didn't at least punctuate this morning with a question to you. Good morning, Andrea.
Good morning, Saurel. I'm intrigued. What's the question?
What do you call a rich Chinese person?
I don't know. This sounds like it's going to be some sort of inappropriate, so I'm just going to zip it.
Zip it? Well, how about cha-ching?
Yep.
Good morning, Huddlers. Wherever you are, whether you're on the West Coast or the East Coast, you may be in Haiti or you may be in Central Africa. Wherever you are, I welcome you to the Daily Huddle. I love the fact that you're here. I appreciate who you are for having moved anything you have to move to be here with us this morning. So welcome. Today, Andrea and I are teasing you with the statement. You're wealthy. Damn it, act like it. Now, it begs this question. What is it to be wealthy? And what is it to act like you're wealthy? That's the subject of today's conversation. But before we get started, I have a few questions for our partners here. Good morning, Giovanni.
Good morning.
Gio, what time is it? And what are you grateful for?
The time is now. And what am I grateful for today? I am grateful for what is that thing that you use to make smoothies? Blender.
The blender.
The blender.
Oh my God, I am grateful for blenders too. Especially the kind that can pulverize anything into smoothie material.
Yes.
That's great, Gio. Did you make a smoothie this morning?
We have a smoothie this morning.
All right. Good. Stacy, welcome home, brother.
What's going on? I always feel at home this time of day.
Where are you, Stacy? And who are you going to hug today?
I am where I need to be. In this very moment, maximizing this moment. Who am I going to hug today? I'm definitely going to hug my daughter today because I haven't seen her, and we have a breakfast date in an hour and actually 55 minutes. So I'm definitely going to hug her.
That's awesome. That's awesome. The last question I've saved for you, Andrea. If the time is now, how are you?
I am the way I say I am right now. And right now, I'm wealthy. That's what I'm going to say.
Well, that opens up this conversation. So what is it to be wealthy? Folks, Andrea and I have been having this conversation for 5 weeks now. So yesterday, in preparing for this, we said, well, could it be that being wealthy has nothing to do with what you and I associate with being wealthy? Now, wherever you go in the world, whoever you ask, are you wealthy? Or is he wealthy? Or she wealthy? The question and the answer to the question is most likely associated with the amount of money that person has. Now, we're not knocking down money, okay? Because this is Money Monday. We want you to have a lot of it. But there's a certain relationship that you and I can have with money that can give us the freedom to be wealthy now. And that's what we're tackling today. Not only will we tackle that, but we'll also show you exactly how to act like you're wealthy. And you'll be surprised to see what acting wealthy looks like from our point of view, at least. So if to be wealthy has very little to do with the amount of money you have, then what is it to be wealthy? You know, Giovanni and I started the Daily Huddle in March 2020. And it evolved to include 5 pillar conversations. And in thinking for the conversation this morning, it's dawning on us that, Andrea, maybe to be wealthy is to be and create the space around myself in my life for people, for things, and for myself to be just the way they are and just the way I am right now. Maybe that is to be wealthy. So let's explore that inside of a series of questions. The first being regarding money. You have the money you have. You don't have the money you don't have. Stacy, if you say I'm grateful for the money I have right now, and I'm grateful for the money I don't have, how does that leave you?
Content?
Yeah, doesn't it? You could say that being grateful for the money you have and being grateful for the money you don't have leaves you content, as in not seeking more money, as in maybe wealthy.
I could make that argument.
Yeah. And Andrea, by the same token, if you look at your health and well-being, you are as healthy as you are right now. You are not as healthy as you're not. Could you be grateful for the current level of health that you have right now?
Absolutely. Because that's what I have right now.
Now, take a look. Now, this conversation might sound esoteric to you, but it's really right down to earth. Take a look at your health. Take a look at the amount of money you have right now. And be grateful for what's there right now. And find out for yourself in your own experience, how does that leave you? So, Andrea, if you're grateful for the amount of health that you have right now, how does that leave you?
Like Stacy was saying, content. I'm calm, tranquility. I'm surrounded by peace, understanding and awareness, which is super important. So yeah, in a good space.
Now we can continue that because the 5 pillars of the Daily Huddle are money, health, relationships, and communication. You know, the people in your are the people in your life. The people who are not in your life are the people not in your life. Could you be grateful for the people you have in your life and for the people you don't have in your life? If that's the case, does that leave you wealthy as someone who's blessed with the relationships you have and also blessed with the relationships you don't have? We go on to the 4th pillar, spiritual matters. You celebrate your spirituality the way you do. You have the relationship with your maker that you have. You don't have the relationship that you don't have. Could you be grateful for the current level of connection that you have to the universe right now? And if you were, what kind of access does that create for you right now to being someone who's spiritual? I really do want you to look And think about that. The last pillar is business and leadership. Your business is where it is right now. It's generating the amount of money it's generating right now. It's not. You're doing the things you know to do right now, and you're not doing the things you're not doing. Being the space where things and you can be just the way they are and just the way they're not leaves you present in a way that you can be in action, doing the things you want to do. Otherwise, I'm in action, you are in action, trying to get something I don't have, or trying to rid yourself of something you already have, which nowhere on earth leaves me content or leaves you content. So the central question today regarding being wealthy is, could you be open to being wealthy right now and have your wealth not have a connection to the money you have? And if you do that, Andrea and I guarantees you that you'll be someone who can act wealthy. And to act wealthy may not be what you think it is. I'm going to pause for a moment. And Andrea, I want you to tell us, what is it? What does it look like when someone is acting wealthy?
Saurel, as you pointed from the beginning, we've been doing this parallel conversation about mind and tools, right? So for you to act like you're wealthy, you should be using the tools and creating an environment around you that is conducive to wealth. So that's what we've been saying, is not just the most important thing. The first thing you should be doing is that changing that relationship and putting money to work for you. But we're only saying that because of the relationship that we're trying to break, that wealth is the only relationship or is directly correlated to money, period. It is part of it. So to answer your question, how can we be wealthy today is understanding our current situation with our money, making it work for us, and expanding the horizon and the belief, open the idea of acting as you're wealthy. We gave you steps. We gave you the recommended. And this is, again, generally speaking, the recommended steps for you to act and become. Because one thing is acting and being present, and the other one is truly becoming this wealthy spirit. So we're inviting you to think that being wealthy, in the 5 pillars that Saurel was mentioning, money is just one part of it. So that's the thinking, right, Saurel?
That's the thinking. And when you look at it in the final analysis, maybe acting wealthy, doing the following and doing them religiously over and over. Mm-hmm. Acting wealthy is to set a goal for what you want out of life, for what you want your money to deliver for you out of life. When you do that, that's actually being wealthy and acting wealthy. What if you budgeted on a regular basis so that the money you have working for you can have specific jobs to do, while creating a budget and giving your money specific jobs to do is acting wealthy. Mm-hmm. Saving your money so that the specific jobs you want your money to do are actually fulfilled in time right now is acting wealthy. Mm-hmm. Investing your money so that it has children and that it has grandchildren and that your great grandchildren of your dollar you invested today are working for you tomorrow. That is acting wealthy.
Mm-hmm.
And to save for specific goals, the goals that light you up. You may want to take a vacation to New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
You may want to buy your significant other this piece of jewelry that's out of this world. You may want to buy yourself that cup of ice cream. You may want to buy yourself your favorite motorcycle. Whatever it is, to actually have your money do your bidding by acting wealthy
Mm-hmm.
is the name of the game. And guess what, folks? You don't have to have a specific amount of money
Mm-hmm.
to act that way.
Nope. And it's interesting that you're saying that, Saurel, and you and I were speaking yesterday about acting in the bare minimum tactic or task that you can do today. August the 1st, the first day of the month, it's to create that budget. That's the only thing you truly need to do today to act like you're wealthy. You're acting, you're becoming. So just do it. And we created this amazing tool for you that I'm going to quickly, in the 2 minutes that we have before we start truly doing a discussion, I'm going to remind you about this we built together. We have evolved the tool to hear your questions, address them, understand them, and then we're going to make it available for you. How does that sound, Saurel?
That sounds awesome. And that tool itself is your personal answer to the question, how do I act wealthy?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So let me share screen. You should see the budget. Oh, interesting. Look at my reminder. I need to focus on my 1 to 2 priorities and finances. Let's move it right here. My daily reminder. Okay. So as we said, now we see how beautiful we updated it. The top of the budget spreadsheet tells you you're wealthy. Damn it, act like it. This zero budget tool and framework, you could use this one or you can use a different one. We're just offering you a framework, a thought process. What gives you is freedom and opportunities, right? That's the theme of everything that we're doing. Along with the other 4 pillars, money gives you freedom and opportunities. At the top, you add your income. Then you start organizing your money to work for you in this order. You start by giving. Even if it's a small percentage right now, you need to put it up there.
Now,
Saurel, you're going to say something.
Giving
yes.
is at the top.
Yep. Yep.
To give is to act wealthy.
Exactly.
And we have it at the beginning because some of you, like I did, when I first started, I didn't have much. And when I don't have much, it might be tough to consider giving. And yet, it is a reliable to being wealthy and acting wealthy now. Give.
Yes. And what we are recommending, Saurel, even if you're struggling right now, put $1 aside and save that money and give it to somebody that needs that dollar more than you do. You start by giving, then you go into savings. And why is it important to go next to savings? Because we want everybody to break that 80% statistics that don't have $1,000 in the bank for an emergency. So we want to break that number. So that's why you start saving, and then you do it in an order. Then you go into the 4 main pillars of your house, your home, your living, which are food, utilities, shelter, and transportation. You don't need anything else than that. If you're struggling, those are your 4 priorities. You can cancel Netflix, you'll be fine. You can cancel other stuff. You'll start acting like you're wealthy by putting those things in order. Then you go into the rest of the way that you live. So we have some flexibility there. Insurance is important to protect you, yourself, your loved ones. Focus on health, focusing on personal and lifestyle. Then you start moving things at the end, which are your entertainment and miscellaneous. Debt, because we want you debt-free, is at the bottom. So we assume that everyone is in that acting as wealthy, right? We're trying to get rid of debt. But if you still have, it's important that you track your debt. That's fairly logical and is going to help you act immediately like you're wealthy. How do you save? Which is the second tab we created in the order that we're telling you here at the top. See, we're giving you the plan so your brain can be used for going and finding money if you're struggling with it, or focusing on the other 4 pillars that are going to help you become free and full of opportunity. The recommendations and the details are here too. So just read them. You don't have to go exactly by what we're telling you, but the knowledge that we have put together here is based on a lot of years of learning and experiencing the pain from people moving from really suffering to struggling to thriving. Those 3 steps, okay? And then, excuse me, we also collected some information about debt. How do you do it? How you get organized in your brain to get rid of that oppressing debt. Remember how Saurel very clearly articulated the adjective of the type of debt we want you to get rid of. It's oppressing. Get rid of it. And you do it in the snowball effect from the smallest one to the biggest one and start acting like you're wealthy. So we created this tool. We're going to make it available for you, and we're going to be open to continue the discussion at any time you feel the need to continue momentum, keeping the rhythm, and act as a beautiful group of people who are wealthy. So that's what we have for you today. And we want to open to any questions, any thoughts, any pushback, because only with pushback or things that don't make any sense, we will be building a better tool together.
And
so,
yes, Stacy, yes, Molly, yes, everyone, this tool is available to you. We'll be posting a link to download the tool on Facebook, and we'll also send it to you in an email if you post your email address in here or on Facebook.
Yep.
All right. Questions, comments, pushback. Are you resisting being wealthy right now? Come on, Stacy.
I definitely have a question. So my fiance and I are talking about tithing and offering. I'm on the side of splitting our tithes and offerings amongst other very charitable organizations. She is on the side of tithing and offering, and then additional donations to charitable organizations. And I would love some additional thoughts on those ideas. My concern is you don't control where that money is going when you send it to a church. That is governed by a board of trustees, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, or the pastor. And I think it's important to really think about where we give our money and how that is going to benefit our surrounding communities, et cetera. I would love some additional thoughts on that.
I love that question, Stacy, and I'm laughing because I'm saying, man, hook, I am not getting hooked by that one. I'm staying way out of.
I have actually.
I'm staying way away from between you and your fiance. And I'll say this myself: the essential is the giving that you do.
Yes.
The giving that you do can come from the place where how it's handled once you give it may not be an issue. Start with the giving. It is the giving, the act of giving itself that works. Now, who you give it to, where you give it, how it's handled, that's your business. But Andrea and I are standing for you to give and to build the habit of giving. And one thing, You know, that little argument, that little disagreement of not knowing how to split the tithe, it might actually stop you from tithing now. Go beyond it. Tithe now. The giving is the habit you're looking to cultivate.
Exactly. And to add to that, which Saurel answered beautifully, it is that feeling, and it's not to put it on an egocentric response that is about how you feel, but just make it a little bit about how you feel, because giving is good. You see where I'm going with this? Giving feels great. Whatever they do with the money is something you cannot control, right? So we are allowing you to have release the control, release it, embrace the process, and give, which is what Saurel said. The act is become a habit of giving. Of course, we are not in any way, shape, or form implying that you should know your research, you should feel comfortable. Do that if that helps you make a decision, but don't stay in the research phase. Just make a decision, even if you're 80% sure. Go to the 80%, make a solution, done.
Yeah.
Many, many thanks. Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Go ahead, Ronald.
It's a really great conversation. I guess, one thing I did while Andrea was talking about today is a good day to start budgeting. I was texting my girls, my ladies, and they're no longer little girls, my ladies, to let them know, hey, I gave them a spreadsheet that was a good time to start the habit. Today was a good start to start the habit. Well, one thing I have is probably in the semantic. Do you, instead of using the word acting, could you say habit, develop the habit? Because acting whenever we act, we pretend something that we're not yet, or we're not. So I'm kind of really, I guess this is a pushback. I mean, because when you act, I've seen a lot of people acting, man, and after that, they fall right on their freaking face, So I'm like, what do you want to use the word acting as opposed to building up the habit, and that's where I am. I mean, I guess it makes sense to stay, I guess it's a matter of choice. It's just a comment. I'm not saying it so you guys can push back with me and anything, but I feel that when you start really using the word acting, you fall into the pretend, and that's, pretend can be really detrimental at a point.
I completely get that, Ronald. The word act, the way semantically we use that word, act like it could say pretend to be. Andrea and I don't mean it that way. We actually mean it in this way, and we'll consider changing it, right? But we mean it
words like fake it till you make it.
Take the actions of someone who is wealthy. That's what we mean.
Okay.
The actions are really simple. They don't have anything to do with, well, you could be spending, but it's not necessarily that. The actions of someone who's wealthy begin with creating the clear goal. That's one action. When you do that, you're acting wealthy. When you create a budget to serve the fulfillment of that goal, you are acting wealthy. When you actually follow that budget by giving first, then taking care of your bills, then saving, then investing your money so that it creates babies that work for you, you are acting wealthy. So it's in the sense of action. So
we'll think about it, but we hear you. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Ronald. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, guess what, Andrea?
31.
It's 31 after. Time does fly when we're having fun. And I'm forever grateful to our friend Patty Dabrowski, who gave us the 7 tenets of the Daily Huddle. And today, like always, we'll close with them. with our personal invitation to you to love, to laugh out loud, throw your head back, you know, laugh at those silly jokes we tell, to stress less. The idea of I'm wealthy now, act like it, we say is an access to stressing less. So many of us stress about the amount of money we have and all the while miss everything that we could do right now to have the money we have right now work for us as hard as it can. So stress less. Eat mostly plant-based. It won't hurt you. Leaves are good for you. Give. That's the first action of someone who's wealthy. Sleep. And last but not least, shake what your mama gave you. Come on. This is our show for today. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Vince Roundtree and Roland Vanetta will be here on the Daily Huddle starting at 9 a.m. with health and wellness. Welcome home, folks. Until then.
Thank you, everybody.
Awesome, Stacy. I got your email. We'll send you the spreadsheet this week.
Thank you very much.